There is no Indian football influencer. Right now, in my opinion, the only Indian football experts are Gormangi Singh, Renedy Singh, the ex-Indian football players who are now coaches. Everybody else is an Indian football fan, me included. And I'm here in Doha, Qatar as an Indian football fan. I'm not an expert. I'm a die-hard fanatic Indian football fan, and I will not let anybody tell me how to support my team. Okay, I was not going to make this video primarily because that 3-0 loss hurt. It hurt a lot. That performance was not good enough. We are the sports half, and we have traveled to Doha, Qatar, probably the only Indian football content creator here in Doha to support Indian football. Uh, and yes, here we are, right? Three things that we learned after the humiliating 3-0 loss to Uzbekistan. Number one, be an Indian football fan first, and then an Indian football expert. Okay, so what does that mean? Um, if you can afford to go to the World Cup to watch your idol Lionel Messi lift the World Cup, look, I would have loved to have been there, but it would have been so much more expensive than an Asian Cup trip to watch Indian football. Three times, five times more expensive than what it would cost you to travel to Doha to watch Indian football play in the AFC Asian Cup, which is, as many would say, the highest peak that we might ever reach in the next 10 years. If we are lucky, we'll make it into the World Cup. We're going to stay hopeful, that is for sure, but only if we are lucky we are going to reach the World Cup in the next 10 years. So this is the highest peak that Indian football is going to reach uh, in the next 10 years, basically. So if you are Indian football fan, Indian football expert, Indian football content creator, why are you not here in Doha, Qatar, if you can afford to come to Doha, Qatar for the World Cup to watch Messi lift the World Cup, or to watch, I don't know, Colombia versus Iran? I don't know if that match happened, but you get my point, right? So, point one being, be an Indian football fan first and an Indian football expert later. Because the blue pilgrims are here, and they're here to support the Indian football team. The Qatar Manyapada are also here, right? And I see the struggles that they are going through in terms of getting permission. There is discrimination, no doubt. Uh, Drums were not allowed into the stadium on match day one. There is no support of any sort from AIFF. You don't need to give us monetary support. Just a representative from the AIFF to tell us that, hey, this is that. These are the permissions you're going to need. If you need the permission, I will help you with the permission, because I am a high ranking official of a football federation that is representing a country that is in the AFC Asian Cup, right? So there are struggles here in Doha, Qatar. And second game, we did get the permission to get drums into the stadium, and we were there chanting for the Indian national team, even though the performance sucked. Okay, and when the game ended, um, the players did not approach the fans. There was no acknowledgement of the fan support there. It's as if we didn't exist. You plead to the plead on social media for supporters to come support you, and then suddenly when we are there, by the way, spending my entire life savings to be here, there is no acknowledgement of the fan. I don't want acknowledgement, honestly. I don't want that. Like, that would have been a consolation prize if it happened, but The performance is what is key. And number two is that was a terrible fucking performance. I'm an Indian football fan and I have the complete right to call out my players and my coach for the terrible performance that was shown, that was in display against Uzbekistan. In the first 20 minutes, we were switched off. We were switched off. This is the pinnacle of Indian football sport that I'll ever reach. And we were switched off the first 20 minutes. How is that possible? Who's going to take responsibility for that? AIFF? Obviously not. Obviously, the players have to take responsibility for that. The coach has to take the responsibility for not firing up his team enough to go into that game and be switched on mentally. We can break down the goals if you want. The first goal, if you look at it, Sandesh Jingan not switched on. Great performance against Australia, but against Uzbekistan, absolutely not switched on. Nikhil Pujari, he looked a little confused. He needed help. Uzbekistan's attack from their left hand side, which is our right hand side of defense, their left side attack is brilliant. Their captain is the left winger, Masharov, I believe. Um, I'm sorry for if I get his name wrong, but he was he's the tricky customer of Uzbekistan, and all the attacks go through him. So somebody had to help Nikhil Pujari out. It was either going to be Suresh or Sandesh Jingan who needed to help, or Manvir Singh. Let's not even talk about Manvir Singh, but because he's point number three. Point number two, but let's come back to the goals itself. Nikhil Pujari, not good enough. He has to stop that cross in. Manvir Singh, if you look at it for the first goal, uh, he faints away. He dodges the ball as if it's not his responsibility to stop the ball either. Mahesh unfortunately found himself uh, one on man to man against the number 7 of Uzbekistan, who got the first header in. Mahesh does not jump, does not make it difficult for the midfielder of Uzbekistan to get a header. Sandesh Jingan is in two minds: should he attack the ball or not attack the ball? Back of the net. That's it. 1-0. Second goal. First, Sandesh Jingan um, passes the ball to Manvir Singh. It's a good pass, probably not on the floor, which is why Manvir struggles to get the first touch. But it isn't like Manvir's first touch has been amazing either, right? There are multiple occasions where Manvir's first touch was terrible. And this was one of those occasions. It starts with Manvir's bad touch. You can also say it was a bad pass. It was not the best pass from Sandesh Jingan. It was not on the ground. It was probably slightly in the air, which is why Manvir struggled. But you're an international footballer. You should be able to, you know, capture that ball and keep it between your legs, basically. Excuse me. If okay, Manvir was not able to do that instantly. As you can see in this snapshot, Akash Mishra is the furthermost player on the pitch. Nikhil Pujari is also really, really high here, right? Now the ball is turned over to the Uzbeks. They hit a long ball. The header is won by one of the Uzbekistan players. I think it's number 10, who's their left winger. Wins the ball. Now the ball is not with Uzbekistan, it's with Rahul Beke. You can as well say it's with Uzbekistan, because Rahul Beke, instead of clearing his lines right here, no nonsense defensive clearance, he takes a touch on the ball with two players right in front of him and no passing options in the direction that he's facing. Why did he not clear? When Anwar Ali got injured, we had the Qatar game, we had the Kuwait game and the Qatar game, both very important games, no doubt. They are more important, and Stimach has said that they are more important than the World Cup qualifiers, right? Uh, which is fine, which is okay, yeah, sure, whatever. I have my issues with that, but if that is the case, and if AFC Asian Cup is just for practice, there are occasions where Stimach has said, These are just like not very important. Our priority is the World Cup qualifiers. I'm sure all of you have heard that. Uh, so if that is the case, why play Rahul Beke as a centre back? He is old. He is not a centre back. Mehtab Singh, who is not as old as Rahul Beke, he is young and he plays in a club which adopts a possession style football. So why not play Mehta? He's not good. He's not the best for sure. But if you're going to um, treat AFC Asian Cup as a way to give your players experience, excuse me, then why not play Mehtab Singh? Rahul Beke always has a mistake in him, especially if you're playing him centre back. And we have seen this under Stimatch itself. We have seen this multiple times that Rahul Beke is not the best defender. He's great on the ball. He's great as a right back, which he is for Mumbai, for Bengaluru FC before that. He's not a centre back. He is not a centre back. Anyways, he gets the ball, makes has a brain fade, loses the ball, falls back. And who do you see here? Who is the last person in this image? It is Akash Mishra, last defender in the image, Akash Mishra, and he was the furthermost about 45 seconds ago. He has covered the ground, but none of the midfielders, Apuya, Suresh, have covered their ground. Yes, you see Suresh in the field, but he's just jogging back basically. He's not tracking his man. This was supposed to be his man. Where is Suresh coming back? Suresh is coming back to the position he was assigned, the right center midfield role. But he is not doing the defensive job that is expected of him. He's just doing the job that he was assigned, right center midfield role. I'm going to fill my position, put my body in the place where I was asked to put my body, which is right center midfield role. The third goal, let's not dissect it too much. I think once you're 2-0 down, of course you are going to have possession against Uzbekistan. At 0-0, if we had possession and we showed attacking impetus, then look, I will be the first one to say, wow, shabash. That is an amazing Indian football team performance. When you're 2-0 down, Indian football team performance, top class, should be to go get a goal back. Of course, they tried. We came close thrice through set pieces. Chetri at the end of two of the headers, Akash Mishra at the end of one header, I believe. Tapa taking two of those, free kicks or corners. Brandon, as soon as he comes in, perfect corner into the center of the box. I don't know. When you look at the coach, you need to ask questions. If you don't ask questions, you're not an Indian football fan. If you're an Indian football expert, तो of course, ज्ञान तो चोदोगे तुम. Forgive my Hindi, it's not the best. Uh, be an Indian football fan first. Number two, performance was terrible. And number three, Manvir Singh. Expected a lot out of him. He earned his place into the starting lineup with his goal against Kuwait. When he played in that Kuwait game, there were a lot of questions of why he played. But starting in AFC Asian Cup, nobody had any questions because he earned his place. But on the day, Manvir had just switched off. Coming to the third goal, it's a good segue to the third goal. Nikhil was having a terrible time with tracking his man, number 10 of Uzbekistan. And in the third goal, number 10 drives with the ball to the right wing. He goes to the right wing. It's such an obvious attacking sequence from Uzbekistan, and this is what Uzbekistan did so well. Lot of moving players. Right wing, the left wing goes to the right wing goes to the left wing. The center attacking midfielder comes as a left winger, sometimes goes as a left back. The left back does overlapping runs. There's absolute chaos created by these runs. The defense did not know who to track, and that's where you need to ask the question: what was coach Igor Stimac doing 5 days prior to the game? Oh, friendly चाहिए था, friendly मिल गया तो उज्बेकिस्तान के साथ मार देंगे. Come on, be serious. You know how Uzbekistan is going to play, but we didn't have the game plan to counter their attack. We were not ready for their attack. We didn't know how to defend their attack. Nikhil Pujari did not know how to defend the attack, and he's not a very naturally gifted defender. He's a great attacking threat from right back. He is disciplined as a defender, sure, but he's not your out and out defender, you know. Nikhil Pujari needed help, didn't get any of it. Then number 10 of Uzbekistan takes Nikhil for a ride to Uzbekistan's right wing. The left winger, number 10, took it to the right wing. And there was a huge gap in the right back position. And Sandesh Jingan points to Manvir to cover that position. Somebody has to. Suresh is not going to be able to win the header for you if the cross from the right wing comes into the left back position, or rather our right back position. I'm sorry for mixing up few words, but I hope you understand the sentiment at least. Manvir was there, but Manvir was having an off day. He was not switched on. He was not in the game. Uh, and you can see that the ball comes in, he does not attack the ball. He just does not, he doesn't know how to defend. That is, you can't expect a striker to be a left back for you, right? So that's fine. But attack the ball, show some intent, so show passion. But yeah, anyways, the one of the players of Uzbekistan wins the header in front of Manvir. I think he's the left back. I'm not sure. Could be midfielder. He wins the header, hits the post, comes back, finishes it into the goal. Yeah. And just in closing, again, I want to tell you guys, there is no Indian football influencer. Okay. Uh, right now, in my opinion, the only Indian football experts are Gormangi Singh, Renedy Singh, the ex Indian football players who are now coaches and sometimes appear on YouTube channels like 420 grams to talk about the game. Everybody else is an Indian football fan, me included. And I'm here in Doha, Qatar as an Indian football fan. I'm not here, I'm not an expert. I'm a die-hard fanatic Indian football fan, and I will not let anybody tell me how to support my team. Jai Hind, take care, bye bye.